Hello. Hello. Afternoon. Yeah, coloring and rendering? Yeah, I see that in chats. That's what we're doing. Hey, Quinn. Yeah, I saw you. You're early. Let's see. Just ballpoint pen and willpower. I know, ballpoint pens are so good for shading. Honestly, like very nice. This is the Igster. Hello, microwave. Ooh, that's my microwave impression. Mm. Hey, Starverse. Hey, everyone. Yeah, it's nice to see some regulars here. Hina Todoroki as well. Yeah, drawing with Geeks. I also remember that person. Hi, Amumu. Hello. It's been a while since I streamed too. Man, I'm just deathly tired. Always. But it's okay. Now, we're gonna be shading and stuff. Yeah, what we're gonna be doing today, guess it's still a little bit early, but I could explain. We're gonna be talking about, like the title says, how to improve your artwork with better shadows. So, yeah, I want to talk about some things that I talked about. Oh, and yeah, so I should say that the artwork that I'm gonna shade, I had a poll for it. So I had people vote for an old stream artwork that we finished, and of course, what the winner was, the mech drawing from the mech stream. And yeah, I feel like it's perfect. You know, like the people say it's from the or not from the what I'm trying to say is it's March of the Robots, so it's perfect. Ooh, gonna draw the most amazing rendering of Gun Wizard. Word. I was there from that stream. Yeah, can you believe it? That stream is from 2022, like late 2022, but still so long ago. But yeah, bro is eepy. Yeah, I am. Exhausted, but it's all good. Now we're on stream. It'll be nice and chill as usual. Oh, I'm glad. Well, now we're gonna spice up this mech. We're gonna make it look even nicer. Cause yeah, I think back then streams were only an hour 30, so this is the best I could do in an hour 30. But now we're gonna have all the time in the world to shade. Yeah. And what else is chat saying? Let me roar. Oh. Oh yeah, just about to animate a wolf. Word. I mean, you could also have this on the side while you do that. Yeah, so much to do. Yeah, so much to do in art. What up, dog? The sky. How about you? E. You know, I have one student that keeps spamming that too. The E. A Markiplier. Flash is crashing. Oh no. Yeah, Adobe's been giving me problems too, honestly. I uninstalled, but it's still haunting me for some reason. I don't know why it won't uninstall completely. It's weird. But yeah, anyway, I think it's just about time to start. I know, E is a pretty old meme. 2019 was 2 years ago, right? Right? I can't believe it. 2019 was what, 9, 10, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago? There's no way. I'm counting right? 9, 20, 21, 22, 20, 20. No way. But anyway, we gotta start the stream. Stop being existential. But yeah, again, for those who just made it in, we are going to be shading this mech, this old artwork, because people voted for it. This is what the people want to see shaded. And I'm going to show you my techniques on what makes a really good shading technique. But before that, you know, as usual, hello. And in case everybody didn't know, our growing community is filled with tons of art nerds. And we art nerds, we gotta stick together. So be sure to check out the links to our social media in the description below, and check out our website for class offerings, where you get critique, guidance, and encouragement from instructors like me. Because we're not just a YouTube channel, we're an art school. So if you'd like to support us, so we could keep making this free stuff like the live stream, consider supporting us on Patreon for as little as $2 per month, or you can become a YouTube member for exclusive channel perks like emotes, sub badges, and oh, I forgot to mention, on Patreon you get working files, critique sessions, and class recordings. Yeah, you could get a huge discount on classes too, and they have limited amounts of spots, so be sure to check those out before they're gone. Oh yeah. Ooh, how can we send in our arts? I don't know how. It's on our Discord. So don't worry, Kaylee. We always have submission features in our thingy, in our streams. So it won't be the last. There's always next week. So yeah, also we have it on Saturday and Sunday, our streams. And I'm pretty sure we feature both on both days. So yeah, lots of chances. But on that note, yeah, I wanted to showcase some of the submissions here. So yeah, this is by Jen. So they submitted this. It's really nice. And the theme, I should say, the theme is endangered. So any sort of endangered life, whether it's plants or animals, that's just the prompt. And I really like this one. So this is their OC, Elysia Lincolns. Are Eurasian or Iberian lynx swordswoman, quiet and introverted. So yeah, I like this twist. You know, I always like when they take the prompt and really make it their own. So they turned it into their OC. Reading chat. Screen is frozen for you? Oh no. Yeah, maybe try reloading. And school sucks right now. Yeah, but don't worry. Spring break is coming for some people, or have passed, so summer is close, I guess, for the people who have passed spring break, I mean. But yeah, I love this concept, you know, it's a swordswoman, and it's always nice to see some traditional art, you know. I want to feature some of that classic, you know, marker, pen and pencil style, and I love how to express their quiet and introverted nature. They put like the dot 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 on the speech bubble. So yeah, that's nice. Yeah, also good afternoon, Red Panda. So yeah, thanks for submitting. Thanks for submitting, Jen. Yeah, and oh my gosh, Starverse. Starverse is in chat. Hello, hello. So this is their giant panda, and yeah, they drew this on while Jesse's stream was happening yesterday, and I wanted to feature it. I love how it feels traditional, not traditional in the sense of like pen and paper, but traditional as in like, you know, those old artworks. I guess those old Chinese artworks. It feels like that, like a print. Hey, you made it. Welcome, Anteater. Hello, hello. Ooh, drew it on your iPad. Yeah. I like the textures, you know, at the bottom, like the foggy texture. And then at the top, the bamboo is starting to fade. Yeah, I like it. And you did a good job of making the bamboo fade into the background. It's a nice contrast, which we'll be talking about that today, actually, in our shading endeavors. And yeah, it's just nice blocky colors, you know. It's not really deeply shaded. That's what makes it feel so traditional. Ooh, how am I today? You know, vibing. Low energy, but vibing. Excuse me. But yeah, thanks so much, Starverse. Yeah, and then on to our last submission. This is by EllieMae. So EllieMae, she made this artwork. It's based on the sun conure, or conure, an endangered species. Very pretty wings. And yeah, I like the way that they adapted it. They just took inspiration from the wings, and then they made their OC. And I'm sure that they followed along Jesse's wing wing tutorial. It's always been so helpful, honestly. Is this the last stream for this month's challenges? You're right. Let's see. Oh, actually, no. It isn't. We still have next week. So, next week is the last endangered theme until there's a new theme again. So for April, stay tuned for the next theme for that. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. Then it is the last one. I just double checked. You right. But anyway, I want to talk about EllieMae's artwork. But yeah, I love the rendering on it. I love how the feathers look like they're traditionally done. You know, with the brush, with all the splotchy style. But what else? Yeah, it's a very lots of feathers, honestly. Like all that line art for the feathers. And it must have been hard. Lots to keep track of. And I like the perched pose, I guess, from this angle. Really like it. But yeah, that's all our wonderful, wonderful submissions for the endangered theme. And yeah, look forward to the next month. Or 2 weeks from now, I should say. 2 weeks from now, we have a new theme and new exciting stream topic as usual. Yeah. So finally, with that stuff done and done, I want to talk about today's topic. Finally, how to improve your shadows. So I wanted to talk about the 3 things that I like to take into consideration when I shade. So first up, let me do this. Set up my mic closer so that I don't lose the audio. Shading. So the things I take into consideration is the shape, hard and soft edges, and contrast. So I guess to boil it down, these are the 3. And starting from the top, starting from shading, or shape, I should say, not shading. And there. So let me just make this into a cube. There. And there. So shading is a nice way to describe the shape of your object. So it's not only there to describe the light, it's also there to describe the shape of the object that has the light on it. So for example, a circle would have a rounded shadow. And let's say that the light is coming from our top right. So yeah, there. Ooh, Jen. Yeah, are you Jen? Yeah, you were chosen. Hello, hello. But yeah, I guess, yeah, this is how you shade a sphere. I had to deal with personal. No need to apologize. I guess we could, yeah, just for you, I will show it again. There. Yeah, there you go. There's Jen. There's Alizia as well. So hello. Thanks for coming along. But yeah, I just wanted to take the time to feature that. Hey Marcy. Hello, hello. But yeah, going back to our shading here of the shape. The shape shading. And that. There. And there. I'm just gonna shade these 2 real quick. And yeah, you can see that with both of these, I'd say these are the most absolute, the most polar opposite shapes, I'd say. Because you can see that in round, right? The round shape, or the shape of the shadow, is kind of curved. And let me clear my throat. Excuse me. Yeah. And also, I see Marcy has a question. Yeah, ask away while I do my little lecture. So yeah, it's nice and curved. And then I guess overlapping with the next part, hard and soft edges. With something like a spear, it's very smooth, so I used a smoother, uh, smoother brush, like an airbrush, to describe that. That it's like softly hugging the shape of the spear. Ooh, how would you draw shadows casted by metal? Yeah, I guess we could talk about that in contrast actually. So, yeah, once all the pieces line up, we could talk about it. That's a good question though. But it's one of those that need all the context for it. And then for something like the cube, right? You can see that there's hard to find what's it called? Faces. Yeah, there's hard to find faces on each of them. There and there. And you can see that the shading really describes their surfaces. The circle is more smooth, right? The light is hugging it all kind of like equally. And then on the cube, it's pretty blocky, right? You can see that this is clearly the shadow, the darkest part. And then this one, maybe the medium. And medium like shadow, I should say. And then the top is the brightest because that's where the light is coming from. And basically, the way I like to think of shading is that it's kind of a spectrum. So everything is kind of like an in-between of a sphere and a cube. With the sphere being like roundest, and then the cube being the sharpest. So say for example, I wanted a curved edge for a cube, like that, because you can see that this is razor sharp. To describe that, we're going to talk about hard and soft edges. So, hard and soft edges, right? Like this one, like I described earlier, I use the airbrush, and then this one, I use like a hard brush. So it's basically an in-between. And Jen, you're crying? Aw, shaking and crying. But yeah, you did a good job. I like it. I like Elysia. Or, let me make sure again that I got your OC's name right. Let's see, Elysia, yes. Oh yeah, it's nice. Ooh, let me see what chat is saying. I'm having to draw basic shapes for my current art class. Yeah, it is, and it's the basis of everything. Pretty much. And so, yeah, like I was saying, smooth, right? This is the softest, I'd say, the airbrush. So it's pretty soft, and I'd say soft is perfect for soft transitions. And obviously hard is for sharp turns, I'd say. So if you imagine the cube, right? Excuse me. The cube has some pretty sharp turns, and that's why I picked these two, because they're polar opposites, like I mentioned. And so if you want an in-between, where it's kind of like a round bevel, kind of like a rounded beveled cube. Oh, there. I'll copy paste this to describe it. So I'd put it like in between, it's like not soft but not hard either. Or actually there. Copy paste. Oh, let me just clean that up. And there. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to clear my throat. Sorry. Ooh, what is the best idea to get for my art? Best way to get ideas for your art, I mean. I can't English. Just try to think of what you want to draw, I guess. Like, what do you feel like drawing? And then try to boil it down, Keep your hand moving. That's another thing. Ooh, how do I know where to put the shading? And give me one sec while I drink some water. My voice is not okay. There we go, I'm back. But yeah, that's a good question. So, the way I decided my shading is that the light is coming from the top light. Top light. Top right, top light. But, yeah, that's like our basis. And I guess using just simple inferring, you know, just like educated guesses. If the light was coming from the top right, I would think that the shadow is maybe on the right, you know, where the light is not present. But yeah. That's what I think. Bloop, bloop. And let's see what chat is saying. Yeah, this robot is so long ago, and now we're gonna improve it. So yeah, we're gonna spice it up. We're gonna make it even nicer. So look forward to it. And yeah, hey Chaotix, hello, hello. Yeah, you could get an object IRL and try putting it in different lighting to observe it. Yeah, also, you know, if your PC is powerful enough, there are like lots of 3D resources to simulate the shading, which is nice. But yeah, going back, you know, here's like a soft edge cube. So there, and there. So you can see that by simply, like, using the airbrush, and then of course I'm gonna round it at the end here, instead of making it sharp. Bloop. Bloop. And there. You see that these corners look a lot more rounded just by making that softer. Because remember that soft equals soft transitions, and then hard, you know, hard, sharp edges equal sharp turns in the shape. So everything is kind of an in-between of these two, like hard and soft edges. There. And these are really important. The reason why I'm like taking my time to talk about it is because these are kind of the things you take into account when it comes to that. When it comes to shading, better shading. And how do I draw a pyramid? It's kind of like the cube. So I guess for a pyramid, it'd be like this. There, there. It's much simpler. There. And right there. You can see that one side catches more light than the other because of how hard the transitions are. Like that. But, you know, if it were to be a rounded shape, then it'd look like this. There. So if I want to make it look rounded, it'd be like this. There. And there. And I'll round this up. Now it looks like a cone, right? So yeah, I guess that's a good example. The pyramid versus the cone. So there you go. That's the power of making it soft. And yes, last but not least is contrast. So yeah, finally we could answer Marcy's question of how to shade metal. Yeah, no problem. There. And there. Ooh, how do you know what color to pick? Yeah, I guess this is the perfect time for that question because contrast plays a big role into it. So, and there. Let me just shrink these down. So contrast, what I mean by that, what I'm referring to is the difference between the light and the dark. So, I'm going to show an example here. Doot, 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 doot. So when I say high contrast, for example, that would mean there, and then the light there, and there. That would mean that the light and the dark have a huge difference. So I'm doing it in black and white right now because it's much simpler to explain, but I'll explain it in color later. Ooh, let's see. Is that the same with rough and smooth objects? Yeah, I guess I could play into that later. Or maybe you could expand on that question, Hazelnut. I don't quite get it, but you're talking about this. Then, yeah. Rough and smooth. Trying to think of like a way to make an example of that, but I'll get back to you on that, in case. Yeah, what Anteater said, actually. It's any color works as long as the value is there. But I'll talk about that in a little bit, right after contrast. So, and there. So let me just do this real quick. There. 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 So you can see that this is pretty high contrast. It's very oh, oops. I should lock the paper layer. There. I guess I've been doing it on the same layer. Move that out of the way. There. And let me label these so that we have some nice nice notes here. High contrast. So if I sample it, if you guys take a look at my color wheel, so this is the shadow, and then this is the light. One brings shadow, one brings the light. And if you take a look at the dots, this is the shadow, and then this is the light. So it's a huge gap in between. So it's pretty high contrast. Ooh, I'm your favorite artist. Wow. Well, thank you, CJ. But yeah, this is the robot we're gonna be shading for the titular how to improve. You know, we're gonna improve upon the shadow. Yeah. Sorry, just took a drink. Ooh, how do we shade light out of clouds? Ooh, I guess this next part will help with that. For sure, for sure. And I normally use an airbrush on my shading. Just shade the bottoms of the clouds. Yeah. And we also have a cloud stream by Jesse, so yeah, you could totally look at that when you have the time. And I'll do the low contrast actually before I start explaining a little bit more. So there and there. I'll make it a bit smaller. And with low contrast, as the name implies, there will be a low difference between the shadow and the light. Two-toned echoes tumbling through time. There, there, and there. Doot, doot. And there. So this is low contrast with like brighter colors, but also low contrast can also happen with dark colors. For example, this and this. Okay, maybe a bit darker just so you guys can see it. Well, actually, this is pretty high contrast. There, there. Oh, yeah, see, it's so low that my fill bucket isn't even detecting them as the same or different colors. Just gotta use your eyeballs to tell. There and there. So you can see that with low contrast, if you look at the color wheel again, there's not much of a difference, right? Not much movement. So if you look like up here, it's not traveling too far. But then if you compare it to high contrast, with the shadow and the light, big jump between the two. And you could barely even tell that these are shaded. So also with high contrast, let me label them. Low contrast. If I zoom out, you can see that high contrast attracts a lot more attention compared to low contrast right there. Just because of the difference between the colors. Yeah, also, hello Flighty. Hello, hello. Ooh, are we gonna talk about how to shade translucent objects like glass or plastic? Jesse actually already talked about that, so I won't be too redundant, but I might go over it for sure. But these three things right here, shape, hard and soft edges, and contrast, these will let you texture pretty much like anything, really. And yeah, I forgot to mention, for high and not for high contrast, but for contrast and for soft and hard edges, They also have a double... These have a double purpose, I would say. So we talked about hard and soft shapes earlier, right? The edges can describe the shape, but also they could describe the intensity of the lighting. So say for example, I'll do a multiply here. So if I do a hard shadow like this one, this tells me that it's a really intense light casting the shadow right here. Because you can see that there's like a pretty defined shadow. Either something huge is looming over this cube for some reason and is casting that shadow, or the light is so intense, it's like so close that it's like blaring, like right here, and then like it's like a spotlight, I'd say. And then for like a soft shadow, say like this one, I'd say that the light isn't intense, you know, the light is pretty far away. Maybe it's something like the sun or like a roof light. So yeah, that's another purpose of hard and soft edges. Ooh, when did Jesse talk about that? There's like a bunch of shading playlists. So yeah, look at that. Take a look at how to shade, I'm pretty sure glass and stuff, and plastic. Well, not plastic, but how to shade glass. I'm sure she talked about it. Yeah, looming. Big cube looming over at the top, casting this big shadow. Ooh, are hard or soft shading better? Actually, they kind of work hand in hand. That's why I wanted to talk about everything as a whole, because it's kind of multi-purpose, right? Because if you think about it, what if I wanted to do cell shading? So for cell shading, it's going to be less about the hard and soft edges and more about the contrast. Because if you think about it, right, this pyramid, or this cone I should say, you wouldn't really use soft, because just like what Jesse said in the cell shading video, it's a lot of soft, or it's a lot of hard edges. So instead, what you would do is make a low contrast shadow instead, like that. So for cell shading, it'd be like this. So not too intense, describe it. But yeah, I'm glad you had fun, Flighty. Flighty Feathers. It was nice. I had fun too. Yeah, and welcome back. So yeah, these are like the basics. I wanted to talk about these because these are kind of the what's it called, the context that you need to understand for this stuff. So I'm just gonna merge everything together now. Combine these. And there. Yeah, and I guess before I move on, actually, I wanted to talk about color for contrast. Because take a look at this. We talked about how color, right? I'm using black and white to describe contrast, the difference between light. But also, you gotta be careful with color, because if you take a look at this, right? If I color pick it, if you look at the dot, and if you look at the blue, you can see that it says it's the exact same level of brightness, but if I run it through a filter, the color filter, and then I fill it with white, you can see that there's a big difference. You can see that the red is actually darker than the blue right here. So if I turn it on and off, like that. So yeah, I really suggest this method, because if you use the slider, like the hue saturation slider, it's not the same. So it just changes the value, and it'll say that it looks the same, but in reality, they're different, these colors. Each color has an inherent brightness and darkness. It's called value. But yeah, I'll talk about that more later. But let me see if there are some questions. Use colored shading. How do you know what color to use? So yeah, what color I use is based on contrast. So for example, there, maybe I'm gonna shade this this red. I could just use multiply and then just shade it like this. There. Or actually, maybe even darker. So this is how I pick my colors. If I move to the left, if I use a gray shadow, it's pretty muddy. But then if I add a touch of color, you can see that now it becomes a little bit richer. Like that. So really, I pick my colors based on the value and how satisfying it is. Because technically, look, I could use blue. So I could totally use blue as my shadow right here. But I'd say it's a bit muddy. So if I wanted a little bit more saturation, I'd do this. So yeah, there's like a blue shadow. Technically, I could use any sort of shadow, really. As long as the contrast and the values are right. That's what really matters to me. And you can make any color work. Ooh, but close to color red. So yeah, I'll show you. So like purple, just like that. Or maybe even more. There we go. So yeah, really, this is all a personal preference on what color you want to do. What matters really is the contrast and the shadows. Ooh, I like the pink. Yeah, me too. And yeah, it's finally it's finally time to talk about some examples here. So starting with shape. So this is one of my favorite examples that I did with shape. This is a drawing of mine. And I really want to segment each of them. And I guess I could talk about hard and soft edges as well. Because you can see that with these, I'm really describing the shape of each surface of the Calibarn. This is from Gundam, by the way. And like I said, everything is either a sphere or a cube. Everything's like kind of an in-between. That's how I like to look at it. So with the Calibarn, there's like a lot of hard edges, right? If you look at the knee part, this knee surface, it's very easy to tell which side kind of transitions to like a different shape. Ooh, how do you shade the leg without making it look like a rectangle? Yeah, so I guess what I took into account when I was drawing this, it's like this. I guess this is the part where you have to practice. You have to practice your shapes. Because in my imagination, right, this cube, I was kind of thinking like, if I were to simplify this leg, I think as the most basic cube, it'd look like this. There. There and right there. And then I just kind of overcomplicated everything, like after. So from a basic cube, I cooked from there. And then I just kind of added, like say, maybe I'll add like a bevel like that. So you probably heard of the saying, paint like a sculptor. So there and there. It's pretty much like that. I started off with a cube, like imagining it. And then afterwards, I kind of just added some shadows, just like that. And then, to talk about the hard and soft edges, so for the cockpit, right here, it's a little bit rounded, but it's still a defined shape. So it's kind of like what I talked about here earlier, where it's kind of like an in-between. It's a softer transition. Like this one, it's round, instead of it being like a bam, like a sharp turn. So what I did was I softened the curve a little bit. And yeah, it's just a basic, nice mix of all of those. Like a nice mix of all those techniques. And then with Saletta, right, she's not exactly like hard-edged, so her clothing would be more rounded. And honestly, I feel like I could do so much things better now. Like looking at this artwork. I think this is like last year that I did. Like almost last year. I did this July of last year, I'm pretty sure. But yeah. Ooh, which shading method do I prefer? What do you mean? For hard and soft edges, you mean? Or cell shaded? Yeah, do tell CJ. CJ Games. Let me know. Expand on it. It looks awesome. Thank you. Hello. Hi, Gav. Gav Griffin. I guess to describe it, hard and soft edges, they work hand in hand. It's not exactly a preference, I guess. It's more like what works with the shape. So So if you're doing cell shading though, like what I mean by cell shading is like Adventure Time. You know, think of Adventure Time or like any anime or cartoon. I guess that one, you're kind of forced to use hard edges. But if you're doing Painterly, like me, you have to use both hard and soft edges. You gotta work with both to describe your shapes. And yeah, so contrast as well. Going to contrast, right? So bright shadow, dark shadow, that's high contrast. And then kind of medium shadow, medium light, that's low contrast. And you can see on the knee part, it's low contrast because not much of a difference between the light and the shadow. I didn't want it to attract attention because, again, like I said, high contrast attracts a lot of attention. Low contrast, it still adds the detail without attracting like your attention, without snatching it away. So if you zoom all the way out, you can see that the highest contrast is probably like the legs because it has the most amount of light. Yeah, because like I was picturing like it was coming from the bottom. But yeah, that's another way. So I wanted to introduce these three basic ones because even though they're the most basic, they're the most simple parts of shading, it's the one you could expand on. So yeah. And then lighter color at the edge of the shadow. Ooh. Yeah, I think that's what's it called? Subsurface scattering? I think Jesse's talked about that too. But maybe we could talk about that later. And then this one, I guess I like this artwork that I made for the contrast. So this is the best, I guess, example that I could show for that. So you could see that high contrast, you know, the lights on this character is pretty bright. So it attracts a lot of attention. So places where I wanted a lot of detail and the places where I want people to focus on, I added a lot of contrast. So you can see that the light, pretty bright, and the shadows are dark. They're very deep once they get to it. And then for parts where I wanted to put a lot of detail, I made it low contrast. Because even though it has a lot of detail, I don't want it to be the main center of the artwork. Because you can see here, there's sapphire weapon, there's ruby weapon, and then there's emerald weapon right there. So for this artwork, I wanted to focus on contrast. So that's why you can see that it's pretty basic. They're just kind of standing there. It's just a bunch of portraits. But yeah, you could see how to really take advantage of contrast. So it could really help you direct where to look in this artwork. Because if you look at this, right, the weapons are pretty detailed. Like ruby weapon and emerald weapon, they have a lot of shadow and like detail that I could describe. And sapphire weapon at the corner here, and diamond weapon at the very background, a lot of detail to describe. But thanks to contrast, I was able to put all that without it being distracting. Ooh, what is bounce light? I guess I could describe that really quickly. I was planning to talk about it once we shade the robot. But bounce light, I guess technically, I guess I'll talk about it real quick. There. So I'll shade it like that. And say like it's on the ground. There. So it's gonna be casting a shadow. Like that. And then the dark shadow will be like right here. I'd say. And then bounce light is kind of like where is it? There. Am I color picking? Yeah, I am. Doot. Oh, it's on a different layer. There. Bounce light is because, you know, there's light coming through, right? So it's hitting the object, but also it's hitting the ground. So the ground would like bounce it up, the light. That's basically what it's referring to. And then that's why there's like a little bit of a light. There. Maybe I'll make it more obvious. There. and right there. Yeah, bro, I can't draw mechs. But yeah, drawing mechs is really fun once it gets down to it. Yeah. So this is one example of contrast, and then last but not least, I want to show this, my latest artwork. Yeah, lots of Final Fantasy. um, you can see that with low contrast again, for example, if you look at the shoulder armor, you can see that it's pretty bright. And on the other side, I wanted the shield to be more obvious shape. So what I did was I put it in shadow, but I put it in low contrast. Because I think realistically, honestly, I could make it just as bright as this one. So look at this. There. And then there. And I'm gonna show you the difference. There. So I could do that, right? I could put detail into the shoulder armor, which is right there. But you can see that it kind of distracts from the shield, the shape of the shield. So if I turn it off, the shield is much more clearly defined in comparison. So yeah, that's another purpose of using contrast. So yeah, that's why I didn't want to talk about the technical details like bounce light and all that, because I'm gonna be real with you. The way I shade, if you want it to be short, it's vibes. Like, it's really funny. That's how a student put it. So they're like, oh, so it's like vibes. I'm like, yeah, exactly like that. It's just vibes. So I'm taking all of these defined kind of rules, quote unquote, and then I'm making it my own, basically. So study the basics. It's like the saying. I'm saying so much cliches, but learn the rules so that you can bend them, pretty much. So I feel like I experimented with them enough, you know, and then this is like an alternate alternate version of this, but ooh, okay, CJ, happy birthday to your dad. Yeah, hope you have a good time. Happy birthday. Have fun. And yeah, so these three artworks are pretty much a combination of this, you know. So yeah, also all of them are kind of dark. I like my dark shading, my high contrast, and I like space, as you could tell with this one and this one. And also Final Fantasy. But yeah. But I'm trying to think if there's anything I missed. But yeah, I guess with that stuff out of the way, that's enough yapping. Now get out of here. Enough yapping. There. Warrior of Light. This is my character in Final Fantasy, by the way. There and there. So now, with that stuff out of the way, it's time to shade our mech. There. There's my notes. And I think I only need this. Delete those. Yeah, let's just get started. There we go. Very impressive. Thank you. And now, it's finally time to fix this drawing up, because I think I've been thinking. I think the first thing that I want to fix is this. Let me do this. There. Because I've always felt like the body's a little bit tilted, so I guess first off, I'm gonna try to fix the proportions of my mech here. I'm surprised they even did this in an hour. Like, oh my gosh, past Iggy, good job. But now I gotta, you know, change a little bit stuff. Yeah, computer mouse. It kind of does. Yeah, Red Panda. I think the classics. Yeah, hello. Hey, Shadowbean. You made it. You skipped over all my yapping, and now it's time to actually just draw the shadowing of my robot. There. And we kind of have an hour to do so. So there. I'm just gonna cut, paste. Then I'm gonna tilt it just a little bit. Or actually, before I do that, maybe I'll do like a before and after sort of deal. So I'll keep this layer. And then I'm gonna tilt you a little bit. Just like that. There. And then I think Okay, I could move you up a little bit more. Bloop, bloop. And then I'm gonna fix up the... I think this foot could be bigger. There. And there. Perfect. And now, let me just touch this up. And let's just pretend, you know, that this artwork, we're just putting down the base color. So I think I'm gonna erase some parts here. Like, I'm gonna get rid of the shine. And this one. And this, I guess I'm gonna get rid of this shine as well. There. And there. Yeah, I know. Back when streams were 1.5 hours, yeah. I know. Ooh, what was the question? Yeah, I use Clip Studio. Let's see. I'm just double checking if I missed anything. Opposite of a car wash, because it's too shiny. Oh no, don't worry, we're gonna make it shiny. I'm just I'm priming it. Like, if you've ever painted anything, you know, you have to prime it first. You gotta make sure that the paint sticks, and it's kind of the same thing. There, and there. Yeah, so I think the first thing that I'll do is decide the shadows. Because again, just like I talked about earlier, I'm thinking of the shape of the object. So I want to make sure that I perfectly describe it. So there. And the torso, like I said, it's pretty rounded, right? So I'm gonna add a little bit of shadow on here. And by the way, when you're adding shadow, work from lightest to darkest. You know, build it up, because yeah, it's like I said, high contrast attracts a lot of attention. So take it slow and save, like they say, so many cliches today. Save the best for last, because yeah, it really will be distracting if you don't do it right. There. So maybe describe the shape a little bit. There. Actually, it should be the opposite. Maybe there. Color picking. Color pick. There. Make it. I'm gonna make the shadow a little bit brighter, just like that. It's still in shadow, but not as dark. There. And so the way I did that was, I picked a lighter color in multiply, and then I just kind of did that. That's how I did. Ooh, found your pencil. Welcome. Welcome back. You found it. No, no. I have a crisis. Oh, no. I just back read. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I really like this tool. Yeah, this highlight tool, because it's kind of like a pen. What's it called? Pen selection? Selection pen. Yeah. And there. So you can see now, I'm slowly building up my shadows here. Building up the, what's it called? Building up the contrast as well. There. And actually, yeah, I'm fine with this. There. And there. 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 Then I'll add like a little bit of a rounded one. So you can see right now I'm kind of working on just hard edges. I think for later you could totally oh, I got it actually. Maybe I'll do this. Shade it on there first. Actually, that seems like kind of a hassle. I'll just do one. I'll just do this there. So yeah, when you're blocking out your shadows, I'm working on the big shapes. So you don't see me doing this. I'm not going down here and like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna shade this part under the neck. I'm not gonna shade, or shading, oh yeah, this crevice right here. I'm looking at the big picture first before I start doing that stuff. Because realistically, this is how people will look at your artwork. When they look at your artwork, they're not gonna be looking at like this. They're not gonna be like zoomed all the way in, right? Unless they are, then maybe. But yeah. Yeah. I call you Shadow Bean. Don't worry. Yeah, not to be confused. And also for Sheena, I think you should draw uh a human I think human demon because the horns are always fun. Oh no, Shadow Bean. I'm gonna put the Shadow Bean here. Oh no, it's so confusing. Yeah. There and there. And then, yeah, put the shadow like that. And like that. Yeah, so as usual, keep it simple. Ooh, first time attending a stream. Welcome, Temporal Jester. Yeah, so check out the VOD actually because we went over some pretty fun stuff. But now, don't worry, you've still made it to the good part. You know, we're actually putting into practice what we're working on. But welcome. Sit cozy, you know, get cozy. Ask me anything. Could be drawing related, could be whatever. But yeah, let me know. There. And then I think I'm gonna erase this actually. I'm gonna have right now I'm just working with multiply, the multiply layer. There. And I guess I'm gonna add some shading on here. And there. Just to make it more rounded. There. So yeah, again, I'm gonna try adding some darker shadows now. There. Add it here. So yeah, build it up. Build them up. Don't just jump in. But yeah, actually recently, I looked at Jesse's bio and it said stream cheerleader and it was by Porter Robinson. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, it's a really good song. I just started listening to it yesterday. It's very nice. I really like it. Yeah, because Porter Robinson, even though he's really popular, I don't know, I just never started tuning into his music, and maybe I should fix that. Ooh, only got started with shading recently. Always avoided it. Maybe because of the fear or something. Same with color. Yeah, honestly, yeah, Jack, just do the colors. Like, colors is one of those things where, well, actually with arts, you know, just do it. Because it's okay to make mistakes, you know? That's the best way to learn and sort of see your tastes and what you could do differently. So, yeah, just do it. I know she's been obsessing over it all week. It's so catchy, yeah, and I like the lyrics of it. Oh my gosh, it's just so. I feel like it's so. That topic is so modern, I guess. Like parasocial relationships. Oh my gosh. Like tuning in with the streamers and stuff. But yeah, anyway. Ooh. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Liliana, this is the perfect time. My voice is so good, thank you. I try my best. And yeah, if we take a little zoom out here, here's the comparison. With like a simple multiply layer, it adds a lot. It already makes it feel more realistic, I guess, more alive, more 3D, I should say. And there. And then I think I'll add there and there. Word flighty, I know. Yeah, it was like cursed in a good way. It was really fun. There we go. And I think now I'm gonna start adding in like the darker shadows. Maybe like this one. Yeah, because again, high contrast will attract, I can't stress it enough, a lot of attention. So that's why I'm building up to it. And I should say that my lighting situation, it's not too dynamic, honestly. I just want to, you know, make it more rendered. I guess if I had to imagine it, it's just a basic light coming from like the top, I'd say. There. And maybe, actually, I'll add like a background color. I'd say adding a background color is actually pretty important because even if it's a flat color like this one, it really changes a lot about the way you pick your colors. So right there. So maybe I'll try to see what color is nice. Maybe a little bit less saturated, maybe darker? Nah. There. Maybe like a nice blue sky there. And then like a nice cement, maybe cement-like ground. Maybe I'll give it a little bit of context, you know, like I feel like that'd be kind of fun. But not too much though, because it's not really the focus. Yeah, I kind of want to do like, you know, those like, what's it called? A silo? Or like those flight places, you know, like there'd be like an airplane. I forgot what they're called. But maybe this is enough context for now. Enough context for the shadow. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I could make the shadows more saturated actually. So I'm using the hue saturation slider. I guess you guys can see it, but it's okay. It's nothing too special. I'm just changing the what's it called? Saturation and the darkness. So this is before and then after. Maybe it's a bit too saturated. There. And there. There. Yeah, good enough. There we go. Oops. Yeah, this is pretty much how every drawing starts for me. Just kinda start off with the big shapes. Yeah, students already know, man. Like, I keep spamming that voice line. Start with the big shapes, because, yeah, you should. Here. Tilt it just a little bit. Keep the balance. Now that we have some context. But, Here. There, I'll just keep it ready, and then I'll add the darker shadows again. Let's see here. But yeah, earlier I talked about metal and contrast. So metal tends to be high contrast because of how shiny it is. And yeah, it reflects a lot of shadows and light. So, or it reflects a lot of things, which make it the dark part. And then it reflects a lot of light, which makes the bright part. Oh, do you guys select the colors individually, or do you just put the multiply layer? Yeah, honestly... Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks for coming over, Flighty. Yeah, it's always nice. Bye-bye. But, yeah, I guess to answer your question, Starverse, let's see. You could do it like this. So you can see that I put it in separate layers. So this one, it's only on like the top part. Made it a clipping layer. And then, there, this one. Now this time, each of them have individual parts. So I would say that it depends. Because if you put it on each object, it gives you a lot more control. So say for example, I want like a dark shadow, but just on the legs. So you can see that it allows for a lot more freedom if it's on different layers. And you could go even further probably, maybe just the pipes for example, right? So yeah, just think of it as more layers equals more control. But, you know, it's kind of a hassle. Like if you look at my layer list, it's kind of cluttered already just with these two layers. So yeah, I just put it all in one thing because I want to work on one layer. That's why I put it on one thing. But yeah. Oh, what should I do to lighten it? Oh, don't worry, Jack. Like, you're not a noob at all. Like, it's normal. And I want to tell you guys, I use multiply for the shadows, right? And the lighting, it's honestly like a free-for-all because I don't really look at the correct, quote-unquote, correct layer to use. What matters to me is the outcome. So for example, I could totally use an overlay layer, and say I want like an orange shine, you know? I guess more saturated. I could totally use overlay if I like the effect that it's making. But personally, you know, it does the job, right? It makes it shinier and stuff, but maybe we could like work on like another one. But me, I like to use glow dodge. So like, doot doot. Glow dodge is my favorite. There. There. I think this is in Clip Studio only? Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, color dodge. But yeah, basically what matters more is the outcome of your artwork and not which layer you use. Okay, maybe I'll tone down the light a little bit. There, 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 there. Shiny, shiny. There, and right there. Done and done. And just like that. Then maybe I'll lower it. I don't want it to be too bright. But yeah. Okay, nice. But yeah, here's the comparison now. I will show this. Oh, actually. There. So here's a before and after. So yeah, you can see that just by setting up with simple multiply and glow dodge, you know, just adding like the base stuff, really describe it. Describe the how the lighting is, how the lighting goes. Actually, maybe put this on down there. And then I'm gonna add. Finally, you can see that I'm starting to zoom in now, and I'm adding the darker shadows. There, 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 and there. What else? Maybe like this part. Maybe this part as well. What time is it? Is this software free to use? Sadly, no. But it's worth it. It's worth the price, honestly. I've been using this for 8 years now. Yeah, I picked the one-time payment. I'm not subscribed because I don't really need the new features. I think, you know, I'm just using the stuff. So if you want the more updated, you know, version, you have to pay the subscription. But for me, I'm pretty happy with all the tools I got. Unless they come out with like a banger tool somehow, then maybe. But I feel like this is enough for me. Let me color pick this. There we go. And there we go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna merge it all now. I'm gonna merge it all together. Or maybe spice up. Let me spice up the glow dodge a little bit. Like right here, here. Make this real bright. There we go. Now, let's see. There we go. Maybe darker shadows. I still want darker shadows. More contrast. So, maybe I'm just gonna darken just a touch there. And then, there. Oh, do I need to download the app or can I use... Oh, Discord on Google? Yeah, Discord on Google is fine. It's more just a preference, which one you want to use. There. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this. So what time is it? Okay, we got like an hour left. So... Again, I'm just merging it all together because it's a personal preference. Right there. So now I'm gonna go in there. I'm finally gonna shade. There. Yep. And I'm just using the color picker really and the basic brush. So if you're wondering what brush I'm using, it's a default brush. It's just it doesn't have blending on it. I guess that's the most important part. So my brush, you can see it's not blending like that. But my blending brush, like this, it's kind of softer and it, like, spreads the color, as you can see. Yeah. There. And then this is my favorite part, honestly, of coloring, is when I've combined all the layers, and now I do this. There. I kind of describe the shape, because again, softer edges are kind of more, what's it called? They're more nebulous. I'm trying to think of the word. It's kind of blurry, I guess. It's less focused, so remember that hard edges also have the double use of being more focused comparison. Here and there. And then maybe I'll make this just brighter. Here. I feel like this is the most satisfying part. Yeah. Like, literally, what I'm doing is not like witchcraft, right? You can see that I'm just using one layer. It's literally just about understanding it, wrapping your head around the concept. And once you do, it's good. You're good. And then we could do like a comparison, I guess, over the stages later. So let's see. There. And yeah, if you're doing this method, by the way, I'm only color picking. I'm not introducing new colors, because when I did multiply, I already introduced my new colors. So I think it becomes a little bit harder to balance if you introduce new colors, but you totally could. Like, it's not like impossible, but it'll definitely make your decisions harder if you do. Yeah. Still an ultra beginner, and yeah, Jack, that's exciting. Yeah, ultra beginner. Just there's a whole new world, you know, for you to try out. I'm glad. Ooh, is this a character of mine? Yes, I guess you could say that because it's an original designed mech. I wouldn't say it's a character. I'd say it's a mech, so it's a vehicle. There. And there. And then for this one, actually. So like we talked about earlier, right? Everything is either a spear or a cube. I think this one's kind of like a spear. So let me try and do this and this. And then, I feel like this is like a nice chromey metal. So now I'm adding more contrast to it, making it darker. There. And there. So there. Maybe I'll add like a more bluish. There we go. Then if I zoom out, look at that. It's nice and kind of steel looking. There and there. Yeah. Let's see. Just double checking. Hey Evie, hello. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, right now we're designing mechs. Well, not designing, but we're coloring mechs. There. Oh, and here's another important thing actually about shading. This is one of the fun parts. So shade in the direction of the shape. So you can see here, it's kind of like, it goes like this. So what I like to imagine when I add like these little shadows, I'm shading in that direction as well. And actually maybe do this and this, and I'll brighten this up a little more. And you can see that I love adding edge highlights. It's like my favorite thing to do. And then there, maybe some highlight on the chin. And yeah, while I'm doing this, I'm again, considering the shape. So I imagine this chin part, this chin piece, kind of rounded. So you can see it's kind of a mix between round and like sharp edges. Yeah, here's a before and after, by the way. So before and then after. So I'm kind of like just defining the shape a little bit. Yeah. Can you say something that you could draw? How about you draw a fairy? That's what I think of. I don't know, kind of like a... So I was thinking of like the woods, you know, a complete opposite of what I'm doing. Very organic, you know, compared to robots. Pretty artificial. Yeah. And then... Actually, I'll make it a little bit of a richer color. There you go, the visor. There. Actually, well. A fairy, yeah. Fairy on parrots. Because I think that was one of the poll options as well. A fairy. Maybe that's why I'm thinking about it. Here. Maybe a little bit more saturated, because I feel like the colors could be less muddy. Yeah. There you go. Just working on head to toe. I don't know if I could finish from head to toe though. Let's see. Ooh, a character for me. Yeah. What is it, Shadow Beam? What is it? What's up? Oh, you asked me to guess what? What is it? I just realized. Do tell. What do you want to tell me? Do tell. I know, I like playing with this mic, it's so funny. There. There. And let's see. Yeah, I think I want to change the neck piece as well to something more organic. Or not organic, but more shapely, I guess. There. I'm gonna make it more rigid. So I feel like, yeah. Pay attention to this part. Oh my gosh, look. Look at how satisfying this is. I just made it sharper instead of like rounder like earlier. There. And then there. And there. Then I'm gonna add edge highlight. Just a little bit. There we go. There. And I'm gonna shade this. Yeah, here's a comparison actually. So look at the neck before, and then boom, after. Wow, wait, look at that. So it's more shapely, right? More sharper. More sharper. Or sharper. Boop, boop. And then I'll add... Yeah. Add the thingy. Yeah, because honestly, past Iggy has done all the work of like designing the mech. I'm just here to, you know, improve it now. There. And let's see. I gotta design this all equally. There. And there. And I think this one, the body, it's more, what's it called? It's more rounded, but still a little bit of like a hard edge. So, yeah. There. And there. Let's see. Yeah, that's why when people say they don't want to draw mechs, I feel like you should try it. It's fun. It's actually more fun than you think. Because, yeah, it's just, it practices a really good skill, which you use all the time anyway, which is shape. How many times have I said shape in this stream? a bajillion times probably. I'm gonna add like a little bit of a thing here. And I'll add the shadow. Doop, doop. There we go. Shape counts 105. Yeah. Guys, I think the shape thing must be important. This guy's yapping about it. I just realized that the shape is kind of whack here. Let's see. Zooming out a little bit. I'm trying to figure out. Maybe need to make this slightly smaller. There. Maybe I'll use my liquify tool just to like. There we go. I feel like that is more accurate. There. And there. And let's see. Who's that Pokemon? Word. My favorite one is who's that Pokemon? And actually, what was it again? It was Clefairy from the top view. Or something like that. It'd be like this. Or no, it was Jigglypuff from the top view, making you think it's Electrode or something. Yeah. Someone asked you what they should draw. Then I drew a fairy. How does that work? Good question. Okay, also, hello. Hello, hello. Howdy. Meowdy. Meowdy. Another popular greeting. Final Fantasy. I'm zooming out, and I'm trying to think of where to go from here. Max saying howdy. Yeah. It is a pretty American greeting. It's kind of like a top of the morning, which is pretty Irish. Yeah, do you guys actually know how to reply to that? To top of the morning to you? So you reply with the rest of the day is yours. So that's the what's it called, the reply. And it makes a lot of sense actually. I really like that. If I get the top of the morning, then you could have the rest of the day. Something like that. Yeah. It's whoosh. Top of the morning to you. My name is Jacksepticeye. Yeah. There. Yeah, I guess I really love. Yeah, I gained an appreciation for drawing mechs because, yeah, I watch a lot of mecha anime, like a lot of the classic Gundam from '79, a lot of the series Universal Century, and then the most recent Gundam, so good. Witch from Mercury. Highly, highly recommend it. It's amazing. And also maybe I'll blend this a little. Here we go. Using my softer brush. Kind of like a clean visor. Witch from Mercury. And thank you. Let's see. There. And now I'm color picking this. Gonna make it all shiny. Guess I'm gonna start with the shoulder piece for now. Doot, 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 doot. Yeah, and honestly, I could greeble this a lot more. And if you don't know greeble, we talked about it in the, what's it called? The Mech stream. But greeble, I guess to put it simply, is like adding more deets, more details onto it. But I feel like for this round one, I feel like I could do something like this. Bam. Just like a simple part partition in the shape. There we go. Yeah. Thank you. There. There. There we go. Just to add like a bit of texture onto it. I feel like lower this a little. There. And then let me color pick this. I like this color. There we go. So I made sure that the visor is the shiniest part, because I want this to be like a metallic mech, but usually metal isn't all that shiny. It's like varying. So I think this one is a more kind of painted style, like that. To 400k, yeah. There we go. There we go. So maybe gotta figure out. Okay, I'll just yeah, see, this is one of the rare parts that I'm talking about where I just add a new color. Usually don't do this too often, I guess, because I should have planned it ahead, but it is fun though. I'm not gonna lie. Even though sometimes it does make the process a bit more time consuming, because you're adding new colors and making sure that they fit instead of having it be all set up in the beginning. But again, it don't matter as long as it looks good. Yeah. I guess I could add this new color. I like it. Maybe a little bit more purple. Yeah. There. Legasp plans, yeah. Alright, Shadow Bean. Yeah, let it charge. And also, maybe you could take a look-see once you've finished the stream. There. Oh, the Super Bowl. Sadly, I'm not American. So, I don't keep track. I don't keep track of the Super Bowl. Yeah, and I guess to talk about contrast a little bit again, you could see that there is some detail to be had here, but it's not the focus. So I'm not going to add any like highlights to add the contrast or anything there. Here. And then on here, add here some shadow. In there. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't feel as motivated to watch the Avatar live action. I don't know. I haven't really heard anything about it since it came out. It was just like, oh yeah, it's a thing. But the animated one's always around. I love the animated one. Yeah. Yeah. And there. Beep, beep. Yeah, okay, so I'm starting to shadow it a little bit, and then the verniers, I'm gonna fix that up a little bit. There. Yeah, verniers perfect for keeping the balance in flight. There. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, draw with me. It's pretty much one of those now, I guess, because we're just kind of applying the stuff we talked about earlier. Yeah, and I'm glad. I'm glad pineapple. Pineapple piece. Alright. I know. It's nice to leave on as well when you're like cooking or like doing something. Actually, let me just realize now. Let me just move this a little bit closer. Oh, actually, there and there. No. There we go. And yes, fully cover this. Actually, oh, that's why I think thinking that. Yeah, so my color picker. I'm pretty sure every software has this, but there's a color picker that lets you pick the colors as you see them, the display color, or the actual color from the layer. Because you know how multiply, I'll show you the difference. If I pick it, you can see I'm picking up the color that makes the shadow, that. But if I do obtain from display, so it just picks the color as it is, so you can see that it doesn't make the same shadow, because it's a different color. Made a new color. Yeah. Looking so good, thank you. There. And then I could add, so this is the power, right? The power of using those three basics that I talked about. Hard edges, contrast, shape. Yeah. Colors, baby. Yeah, and this is back when I used this this new brush. I was like trying my best to use it as much as I could. Yeah, I guess nowadays I barely use that brush, but it is nice though for like every now and again. Okay. Zooming out. Okay, I think I'm gonna lower the contrast here. There. Yeah, and I guess for the people who don't know the design of this mech, it's like this. If I look at it from the side, it has a jetpack like that, and then the wings, kind of like that. So yeah, that's his like. This is the side profile. He's got a big back. It's just not as obvious here. Aw, it's okay, Pineapple. We still have the VOD, if anything else. So yeah, not to worry. So yeah, it'll still be around. So yeah, you better make like a tree and leave. And good luck at class. There. And there. Overtime? I don't know. I don't know if I will go overtime. I think I could make it by then. By like the end. I'd shade like this whole bot. Maybe I'll add just a little bit more of the mechanics. Here. There. Maybe I'll make it richer. Bombs? I forgot how the meme went. The dialogue. There we go. But anyway, I'll add. Actually, maybe I'll round this out. Rope bombs. You can have them as long as you have enough rupees. Also, hello, Coper. Welcome. Yeah. There. And let's see. There. Oh, actually, you know what? Perfect greeble time, actually. I want to add something here. There. Something I couldn't before, I guess. Something to make it look cool, because you see this yellow part? That's the cockpit. That's where the pilot would be, is what I picture. So it opens up, and maybe I'll add like a mechanism that kind of pulls it down. So that's what I imagine. Doot, doot. And then I'll add just a bit of a highlight there. Darker, but more saturated. Too saturated. There we go. Perfect. There. Well, actually, that's a little bit too bright. Maybe lower contrast. There and there. Ooh. Drawing is amazing. Thank you. There. There. Yeah, I know. For kneaded erasers, do they? They don't, right? They just get sticky. Or do they still have the shading? Or the little pencil or eraser dust, I guess? Do they still have that? Kneaded I don't think you should sniff those. Yeah, okay. Thanks for joining, Finn. Alright. Sounds good. I don't know. Don't kneaded erasers smell like rubber? Like they're like, some sort of rubber. No shavings, I see. Depends on the brand. It's just like the markers. The markers pretty fun to sniff. And then I'll add a little bit of a shadow. What time is it? Okay, we got about half an hour. There we go. And let's see, actually. Yeah, I've been working on it from like top to bottom pretty much. There. And there. What's the robot's name? Good question. I didn't name this mech. The wing canvas mech. Yeah, because this is what won the poll. The winged... Actually, I want to show you guys... I just remembered something we worked on in class. So, in cartooning and anime, we've been working on March of the Robots assignments. So, let me pull it up, actually. So, one for the more advanced and one for the level 1. So this is the level 1 design that we came up with. It's like Starfire robot. So it's like a lot of stars and stuff. And then this one was for, what's it called? Level 2. This is the Heart robot. Because I think Heart was the first prompt for March of the Robots. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I want to do Heart. And then this is what I came up with. To take a bite. But yeah, this one too. The star. I wish I could like flesh this design out more. You could see that the hands are kinda... didn't have enough time for it. But yeah, that class is pretty fun. And I like the design. March Madness. Marching robots. Yeah. Indeed. There. But yeah, I like this robot design. Dude. Just want to show that. Lots of mechs. Some mechanics. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm zooming out. I think it could be darker actually. This part. Make it darker even. There. And there. Take a bite? Oh my gosh. Nah, don't do it. It's forbidden fruit. Don't do it. It's not edible, man. Just go grab some food. So I just realized, I think this one could be tilted just a little bit. So I think something like this would be more accurate. There. and then I just make a layer underneath, and then blah blah blah. There, patch it up, and then I combine. Just like that, good as new. Oh, and I feel like I want to greeble that as well. I want to add some detail on the pipe. Let's see. How do I do this? First I'll add this and this. You'll gain art skills. Yeah, you get, I don't think you get a buff for eating an eraser. I think you need to enchant the eraser first. And then maybe then. There. Need to take it to the enchanting table. There. Yeah, you need some obsidian, some diamonds. A row of bookshelves. Just get them. Get an enchanting table. There. And let's see. Yeah, I guess this shadow. Doot, doot. Yeah, so again, like I said, it's just me doing the stuff I talked about earlier over and over again when it comes to this. So maybe I'll take a look at that. Well, maybe too dark. Maybe I'll make it darker. There. Maybe darker even. There. This is what I picture. Like a little thingy like that. That. And then gonna clean up the edge. Right there. I guess so far, here's a comparison again. From like before and after, I guess. Yeah, real glow up. Have I ever made a robot? As in like a real robot that I had to program? Because no, I have never. There. And there. Let's see. Yeah, literal glow up, yeah. And then, yeah, this part's kind of huge actually, maybe. Oh, this is one of the fun parts actually. I just thought of something. So you see how it's round? Paint like a sculptor. Look at that. I'm gonna like, I could totally do this. Just make it like more cube-like. Like that. But I don't know, it doesn't fit the aesthetic anymore. And honestly, I could do the same for this. Just to make it like boom. Boom. Like that. I feel like it'd be much nicer if it was more geometric, but I think that takes too much time. There we go. Yeah. Oh, okay, that's what you mean. Yeah, I made a handful. So this robot, this mech, I did make it. And I did draw it. And the ones I showed earlier, I did draw those for class. Yeah, it's really fun. We have a mech stream, you know, and a mech video if you want to watch it. It's a shortened version of those videos. But I think those videos don't show the actual like drawing of it, so yeah. I think still check out the stream if you can. Man, I really want to add verniers too, like right here and right here. But I think it's too much deets for me that I can't add. There. Yeah, maybe something like this, just to make it look like it was made piece by piece, and not just one big circle. Doot, doot, doot. Yeah. And let's see. There, make it rounded a little bit. Wow. I love how you guys are still talking about the the needed eraser. But yeah, I remember back in high school, I did I only had one eraser. I only ever had one eraser because I had the big mistakes eraser. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's this thing. So like imagine this is my hand, like that. It's one of these, like that. And then it had like the stripes and stuff. And it was like a nice blue. It was like blue and white. So yeah, one of those for big mistakes erasers. I got it from the dollar store. And I just used it till the end of high school. Where did I put it? In my pencil case or my binder. Usually I just left it in my binder. Yeah. So I guess here's a comparison. Maybe I'll do that. Uh, Copy paste it. Try to overlay it. So I guess here's like the overlay, like before and after. And then here it is side to side. There you go. Yeah, honestly, I could spice it up a little bit more, but I don't got time. Oh yeah, you read my mind, Pineapple. That's what I was planning to do later. So, yeah, the shoulder, like the logo, for sure. Yeah, in there. What if you need to erase a small mistake? That's what I use the sharp edge for that eraser. It's like kind of sharpen it a little, like erase it with friction, and then I sharpen it. Here. There we go. There we go. Just gonna shapen this up a little. But that's not a big mistake. Oh, you're right. But maybe it's a big mistake in a figurative sense. Figurative. How do I pronounce that? Figurative. Figurative state. Sense. One of those words. Hard to say, real fast. Figurative sense. There we go. First try. Yeah. Looks so different. Yeah, it's more like there's not much like shape being described in that one. So that's why it's not as detailed. So yeah, I wanted to fix that. And then this one. And yeah, you can see that I have a nice mix of like hard and soft edges. There we go. And I'm zooming out because I want to see the overall drawing so far. Yeah, and honestly, again, I'm gonna color pick this. I like this color. There. Yeah. How did I learn it? Yeah, I just talked about it earlier. It's just those simple steps, 3 steps. And it's pretty much just like learning, I guess. Like, how do I describe it? That's such a cop-out answer. Like, I guess it comes from a combination of like, copying some artwork, like referencing, and then kind of cherry picking what I learned from it. I guess you could say it's like the art style video. I have an art style video that I made, and it's on there. How to steal an art style without stealing. How to copy an art style without stealing. That was the title. So yeah, watch that as well. Yeah. Let's see. I'm just back reading what chat is saying right now. Blub, 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 blub. I see. There we go. And adding some deets. There and there. Just to add a little bit of detail. And how many? You got about 15 minutes left. So, yeah, I guess I'm gonna try to spice everything up. Here. Here. And, okay, I'm gonna add some shine on here. You can see that I'm just using one layer too, because for the sake of simplicity, because I don't want to overthink my layers. I just put them, slap them onto one. Oh, if the robot had a voice, what would it sound like? Just like a... I don't think it would have a voice, it'd just have a speaker, because this Mech, it's just a vehicle, it's not a character. But I would say, like, I guess kind of like a megaphone, you know? Megaphone of, like, the pilot. There we go. Let's see, there. Mechanical Iggy. Beep boop. Yeah, and honestly, I did talk about this in the... You guys are talking about putties, so it reminded me. In the Mech stream, I talked about using clay. So make a clay version of your Mech so that you could understand the shapes. So yeah. I feel like that'd be fun. But for me, the clay is in my mind. I just imagined what it would look like, I guess. I feel like it could have some working on with the shapes and stuff, but this is the best I could do. Close enough. Here. There we go. And there. Auto-tune voices. Oh yeah, nothing says future like auto-tune. Yes, I'm gonna add some highlights as well, I guess, like right here. There, and just adding just a little bit more, and there. Nice, shiny. Because I'm trying to think. Okay, I got about 10 minutes. 10 minutes left. Yeah. I'm trying to give everything equal amounts now of effort. What if I just stuck with the rounded? Nah. There. But I would shade this though. Yeah, I'm gonna stick on this kind of greeble added detail. But also I'll add it on the other side. Doop, doop, doop. Add like a little indent on it. Doop, doop. Electricity. Yeah. And there. But yeah, hopefully you guys are drawing with me too while you were doing this. There. There we go. Gonna add this highlight, this highlight. And there. Let's see. Something new to draw. I have no idea. Well, I guess you could just come and chat then. Just vibe till you think of something. There. As long as it's something, you know. There. There. And what else? I guess I'm gonna fix the leg up. There. And then I'm just gonna color pick from these ones. Cause I don't know if I could finish. Well, within that time. Speed run. Yeah. Well, I guess at the very least we worked on the body pretty well. Yeah. I kind of like this color there. Can try to equally put effort on everything. I gave up on distracting. I know, cats do that. I feel like a cat would be nice actually because I don't know, I've never had a cat before. I had a dog though, had a hamster. Hamsters. Hamsters are pretty sweet. Yeah. There we go. And then maybe I'll add just a touch of highlight on the back here. I'm looking at everything. Excuse me. Guess I could. I'd add more detail, but yeah, it's so cool. Thank you. So yeah, I guess you could see the side by side here. There we go. And I literally just used one brush, by the way. Like I haven't really been. I don't know. I didn't feel the need to use my other brushes. I feel like this is enough. And honestly, there's so much more detail that I could have added, like the joints. Just realized it's a little bit asymmetrical. Okay, let me fix that. There. There. Yeah, because you could see more of the thingy. So I'm gonna separate these. One last change. Cut. And then paste. And then I feel like it could be lower. That. And then this part could also be lower. Like that. Gonna. This is also a nice chance for me to fix up all the mistakes, I guess. Quick mistakes that I made. There. There. And there. Perfect. Then I patch it up. Patch. Aww. It's okay. It's like the saying, all cats, they also go to heaven. All cats go to heaven. Here. And there. What time is it? Okay, 5 minutes. Oh my gosh. What can I do in 5 minutes? There. There we go. So, I think, yeah, I guess as I try to wrap up this drawing, yeah, just remember that those are the steps that I take into account while shading. Like, I take into account the shape, take into account hard and soft edges, you know, to describe said shape, and then the contrasts, or the shadowing. So yeah. Because regardless of how detailed you want your artwork to be, you will always think about that. Whether you're doing cel-shaded, or whether you're doing painterly like I am, those are just important things that you need to think about. Regardless of what sort of, what's it called? What sort of shadowing you decide to go with. There. There. And then, where's the gold? Yeah. 4 minutes. Derp. Yeah, and I guess also, like I said, contrast is where it attracts a lot of attention, so just adding a lot of detail on the face of the robot really does help with that. Oh. There. Cats. And then I'm gonna zoom out. Maybe add like a little shadow here. Or like a highlight. And where else can I add something? Maybe I'll add like a logo. There. There we go. There. Maybe not like that. There. There. Yeah, just like a little logo. There you go. There. Doot. This is my final touch before I wrap up. Right. And then let me just this make it round a little bit. Actually, let me fix the there. Then I'll make it hard light. There we go. Just as a little logo. Maybe I'll make it darker. There we go. And then our opacity, get there. And yeah, I think that's it. That is what I got. And then I could like, I wonder if it's better without the ground. And then the shadow. I guess so. It is kind of nicer without the ground. I'll just get rid of it, since I didn't really do too much with it. Then let's see what a nice color is to make it pop. Green. I kind of like the red, like this, and then desaturate it a little bit. Dark? Nah. 0. There we go. And just adjusting some sliders, I guess. Maybe I'll lower the opacity there. And then let me put this side to side. There. The before and after. And there. I guess, yeah, technically I still haven't fully completed it, because if you look at the legs, it's kind of, I feel like I could work on it a little bit more. But yeah, again, it's just all about the basics. Remember the shape, remember to make sure to describe it, because that's what shading is for. And you could use your hard and soft edges, use your contrast to really draw the eye to where you want it to be. And again, we're not just a YouTube channel, you know, we're also an art school, so if you want to take classes with me, with Jesse, with Faye, with Josh, and many more, uh, yeah, you could check out our website. Check out our website for the classes, and if you want to support us, you can become a YouTube member or a patron, so that you could access the exclusive Discord. You know, you get critique and guidance from us, and yeah, get some exclusive like sub badges and emotes and stuff. And yeah. Other than that, thanks for everyone who supported by watching the stream. So yeah, trying to think. That's everything. So I hope you guys have a good rest of the day. I know, time always goes by so fast. But yeah, see ya everyone. Bye bye. Bye bye.